you guys don't know who Apostate Prophet is, he does really good, I don't know how else to describe it, like work against debating Muslims. He has repeatedly been threatened by Muslims. Pretty wild stuff been said to him. And he went to church.
Hey,
he's been wearing a cross. Apparently his wife is a Christian. He starts sharing about going to church and where he is with his faith. And it's really interesting.
That's cool.
Right? So we'll play the beginning of this and play the end of this, but it's really cool that he's sharing about this sort of stuff. Yeah, he's going to an Orthodox church. Props to the Orthodox. And I think this is awesome. This is really cool to hear. And you guys know I'm big on giving people their flowers. Shout out to David Wood.
Come on.
Properly give David Wood his flowers. All right, go ahead.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. The Apostate Prophet. So I recently went to church, and I have to collect all my thoughts about this now. Technically, I went to church for the first time a month ago, several weeks ago, for the first time with my wife, because she has been going to church. She recently became a Christian again. She was a Christian, then she left Christianity and was an atheist for the longest time.
Oh.
Then she returned to Christianity.
Welcome back, sister.
Welcome back.
It's kind of funny because over all these years since we met, I was always the guy who was interested in religious stuff. I was interested in Christian things. I would sometimes even listen to Christian music, and she would be like, so it's kind of weird that she is the one who then suddenly becomes a Christian. I have a Muslim background. I have nothing to do with Christianity except that I grew up in a Christian country, Germany, and that I also went to a Christian Catholic kindergarten. But anyway, I went to church for the first time with her, and that was the first time ever that I attended a service on a Sunday. When I went,
So she became Orthodox.
Yep, she became Orthodox, and that is slowly starting to persuade him.
I like it.
went there for the first time, I was a little bit overwhelmed. I didn't really know what to think. It's an Orthodox church, so I witnessed the divine liturgy, as it is called, and I tried just following along with it and observing it and all that. I think after the first time visiting there, I felt a little bit overwhelmed, and I didn't really know what to think. But this last weekend, I went willingly, deliberately to attend and to practice and to participate, to see how it goes, because I felt the will and the need to participate. And technically, I consider this the first time that I actually went to church to participate. And the first thing I felt was, I felt a warm welcome. Smiles from people, a nod from the priest, a warm welcome from the priest. He saw me when I first visited, so he came to me and said, "Welcome back, I'm glad to see you here." There was a close attention by the priest to help those who are new to the church, to help them along with the liturgy. So he would occasionally look at me and to some others who were new and just tell us what we are doing right now, where we are in the liturgy, so we could follow along. And it was quite easy to follow. And I did follow the liturgy, which is an ancient, beautiful liturgy. There are certain things that I recognized in the divine liturgy, the different prayers, the different chants, the different processions. What's very interesting is that I spent much of the last year, 2014, studying Judaism and temple practices and things like that. And I was only familiar with how Jewish temple practices carried over to synagogue.
So him and David, he talks about it in the video, went to Israel together.
Okay.
And then he talks about going to Israel.
Okay.
And actually, oddly enough, going to the Western Wall, which is a Jewish holy site. It's as close as they can get to the temple, and where the Jews believe God, I don't think Jews believe, I think everyone believes that it is where Abraham was willing to sacrifice Isaac.
Yep.
And it is where they had their temple built. So the Western Wall is on the outside of the Temple Mount, and it's the closest the Jews can get to the temple, because they can't go on the Temple Mount like that. They can't pray on the Temple Mount.
Okay.
And so he talks about how this was the first like moment he had of like going from atheist to, I guess, like maybe there's something beyond this. It's like going to there. And it's a powerful scene, all these Jewish people praying, and it's kind of from a different perspective, kind of weird that they're kind of like all bowing and kissing this wall.
Yeah.
But the devotion of it, there is like something in the air there that like, whoa, this is pretty intense.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. The Temple Mount is controlled by the Muslims. It's controlled, I want to say, by some folks from Jordan or something like that.
Not for long.
Yeah. Go ahead.
practices and how they were practiced in synagogues, especially in Orthodox synagogues. But it was very interesting to see how I could see the parallels between temple practices and Jewish practices also in an Orthodox church during the processions, such as bringing out the scripture and then gathering around and reading the scripture.
If you guys want to potentially get Apostate Prophet on the podcast as he's developing this, consider signing up for Patreon. We're going to put up a thing for you guys to vote.
Let's go.
And we do have the Bless God Summit coming up, which the gentleman who's been building with him for years, took him to Israel, they do a stream. David Wood is going to be at the Bless God Summit March 27th, 28th, 29th. You can go to blessgodsummit.com and either buy physical tickets here in Southern California or buy a virtual ticket.
And whenever it came creeping up, I was just terrified by it. I have replaced it with prayer. Yes, despite the fact that I only just went to church for the first time to practice, I have been practicing prayers for a month or two. And
the interesting thing about prayers is that I don't think you need to be certain about everything to call out to God. And I think God even hears the prayers of folks who are struggling with doubt.
Yes.
One of the most powerful prayers you can pray is like, Jesus, if you're real, reveal yourself to me. So I love that he's sharing about this. And that was the thing that, I just was really like, Jesus, if you're real, reveal yourself to me.
Yeah.
And he did.
How about divine hiddenness now?
Yeah.
Started replacing the emptiness with something good and something better. I think, to be very, very honest, for most of the last years, I didn't want to even try out prayers because I kind of wanted to uphold this this proud feeling of being an atheist. I was like, what prayer? What do you mean prayer? Prayer will make me, will take my rationality and reason away. I can't do that.
Does that sound familiar?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you said, hey, that's what I told Alex O'Connor. There is a degree, and I'm not saying Alex O'Connor is being prideful, but there is a degree of, if I pray, I have to humble myself.
Yep.
If I pray to something out there, I have to humble myself and be open to the possibility that something is beyond this realm.
Yeah.
That could be a struggle for a lot of people.
Hello.
I eventually decided that it's okay to just put that aside and to just do it. And it feels humbling and fulfilling. For the longest time, I always thought, no, if I want to practice something, if I want to follow something, I have to know 100% in my mind that it is absolutely true.
How often did we hear the word certainty used in my conversation with Heliocentric? Multiple times. And I kept pointing out to him, keep saying certainty. There's a quote that I heard. I don't know where it's from. Hopefully it's not from anyone else. But the quote is, doubt is not the opposite of faith. The opposite of faith is fundamentalism and certainty. Doubt is not the opposite of faith. The opposite of faith is fundamentalism and needing to know everything with certainty.
Yep.
There is a degree of mystery to this whole thing.
Yes.
And God is big enough to deal with our doubts and to deal with our struggles and to deal with our questions.
It was actually David who recently helped me overcome that by just mentioning to me that that if you always think that you have to be 100% sure of what lies in front of you, you won't get anywhere. Of course, he said,
one time,
come on,
for the guy.
It's like, what else are you 100% certain of?
David Wood.
Yeah.
Using logic and facts.
Hello, come on.
To help AP on his journey. Like, that's incredible. And David Wood has been so consistent in AP's life. And this isn't the first time, he earlier is when him and Nabil in the book about Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus. That entire book was about David Wood and the role that he played in Nabil's conversion to Christianity.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
All of this in a much more profound way, but it helped. So despite the fact that David Wood is a terrible influence on me, just kidding, I can learn a lot from him. And I appreciate his friendship because of that. And
Props
because he's
David
fun,
Wood, man.
among many other reasons. I will stay in touch with a monk that I met. I will stay in touch with the priest. I will continue on my path. I am less arrogant, more open.
Come on.
More open to humility foremost. Exploring the path that I am right now. At this point, I'm not entirely sure what will happen and where I will go and what I will do. But I would say the only reason that I don't outright come out and say I am a Christian now is that I'm waiting for a final confirmation.
Guys.
So the only reason that I haven't came out and said that I'm a Christian is because I'm waiting for a final confirmation. And then he says Islam did a number on him.
I think Islam took a heavy toll on me, and I know I have been wearing crosses and also saying that I practice or that I pray and things like that. But I have still not officially said that I am a Christian. But oddly enough, I also don't want to say at this point that I'm an agnostic anymore. I'm just on the doorstep, and I will let everyone know.
I'm on the doorstep. I'm not an agnostic no more.
Wow.
Come on, man. One time for Apostate Prophet. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. And listen, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. This is the part that, like, sometimes as Christians, we want microwave evangelism.
Yeah.
God's a crockpot God. Sometimes you just got to love on people and do life with them. And David Wood has been so faithful to multiple people, but specifically Apostate Prophet.
Come on.
He's been consistently, not just a friendship with him, he's been okay with doing live streams with him. They've been consistently doing live streams almost every night together for at least a year, maybe 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Every night?
Almost every night. Yeah, they do live streams all the time together.
Wow.
You know?
That's
And so
cool.
I love David setting the example for many of us that, like, wouldn't think evangelism is just like, come on, right now, give your life to Jesus. What are you doing? Say the prayer, Romans Road, let's go. And it's like, wait a minute. People aren't open source code.
Yeah.
like it's not like punching these things and then bloop, you get the code you want. Like, no. It takes time to build and live and be consistent with someone. And so big props to David Wood, big props to 8P. I love this. Again, David Wood will be at our Bless God Summit, March 27, 28, 29. If you're in Southern California or you want to come to Southern California, blessgodsummit.com for more information on that. But yeah, man, I think this is beautiful. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please be sure to comment below and subscribe and all that good stuff. And check out this other video that YouTube seems to be recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.